Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Meredith Bond, and I'm a court reporter in Rochester, New York. It is my pleasure to serve as the National Court Reporters Foundation Chair-elect and the chair of the Ask Me Anything Foundation. You have signed on tonight to ask questions about what's in your bag. The Ask Me Anything series has been going on for about a year and a half now, and we have done topics from financial responsibility to what's it like to be a captioner and how do you graduate. So every month, not every month, many months of the year, we do a session the last Tuesday of the month. So tonight, that's what we're here for. And before we get started and meet our panelists and answer our questions, I do want to tell you what's coming up next in the Ask Me Anything series. So in February, we're going to have Ask Me Anything about NCRF. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it does? The National Court Reporters Foundation, because I'm sure a bunch of people have heard that there's some scholarships available, there's grants available, and we want everyone to know how you can apply for those, what NCRF does for our membership, all about it. So that's what we're going to ask questions about next month. And then in March, we have the Ask Me Anything about Career Launcher, how schools can use it, how firm owners can use it, how students can use it as gap training from I'm almost graduated, I just graduated, I'm just starting out, I want to learn how to be the best deposition reporter I can do when even weird things happen. Teaches you how to make a transcript, a lot of great information about Career Launcher, and that will be our topic for our March session. And then brand new breaking news, we are also offering vendor training. We have had the privilege to have Stenograph and ProCat offer vendor training last year. Now Eclipse is going to take a turn, and on Saturday, April 12th, there will be free training for users of Eclipse. And it's not advanced training, it's for our beginners, it's for our student, late students ready to graduate, new reporters. So look for that coming out. Sign up. You have to sign up for any of these, but they don't cost money. And then also in April, the last Tuesday of April, we will have the Ask Me Anything about attending conference in Minneapolis. So that's just a little preview about what else we're going to be doing. So let's get on with tonight's event. We want to hear about what we should put in our Steno bag. But before we do that, we're going to meet our panelists, and we have a lot of people in our audience right now that, we got to love an at-home Zoom when we don't actually have to actually dress up. But part of the Ask Me Anything series is advertising it and marketing, and we want to be invited to do this over and over again. So we take a picture for social media for NCRA advertising. So if there's anyone in the audience that would like to turn on their camera and be in our picture instead of just their name, we would invite you to do that now. Ask Me Anything Task Force member Rich Jermosin is going to take our picture, and so I'll stop talking so he can prompt us for that now.
All right, give folks a second to put their cameras
William,
on.
you got to bring this stuff somewhere. Come on, you got a lot of stuff all over. I'm starting to feel frustrated. You got a bus. You got
Somebody's
this.
gonna mute. We can hear you, Bridget.
All right, so we're gonna take our picture now. All right, everybody smile. 1, 2. And I got 2. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rich. I really appreciate it. And thanks for playing along with that. It really helps us to get the word out about Ask Me Anything. So I really do appreciate that. And I take it first, so while we all still look cute. So going forward in our evening, I think it's important not just to hear the answers to the questions, but who are the people that are answering your questions. So we have a great panel of people tonight, and we're going to meet them. So Angie, would you like to go first and tell us a little bit about who you are, where you are, what you do?
Sure. My name is Angie Podge, and I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a freelance reporter, and I've been working for, not that long, like a year and 3 months. And so I wanted to come on here because I feel like I've made my fair share of mistakes of things that I've forgotten, and my mentors have helped prepare my bag to be what it is. And it's, at this point now, it's solid. So I wanted to share what I had.
I love it. And Angie also volunteered to be with us tonight. She was a previous panelist and she heard this topic and was all over it. So that is fantastic. Suzanne, would you like to go next?
Sure. My name is Suzanne Trimble. I am in Orlando, Florida, and I have been reporting since 1997. You can do the math. I'm not going to tell you. And for most of my career, I have been an official reporter. I have done some freelance and I have done some overseas work as well. But right now so I've done state court and right now I'm in federal court and have been for the last 7 years, which I love. And so I am bringing the official reporter what's in my bag tonight.
I love it. That is fantastic. Cindy Lynch.
Hi, I'm Cindy Lynch. I am the training program manager for Stenograph. And for the past 35 years, I've traveled all over the English-speaking world, training court reporters, captioners, instructors, and students to use a variety of CAT software applications. And I am now also a Steno student in the very early stages of speed building. Thank you. And so I guess, I'm probably coming from the perspective of the traveler, of someone who is going to be setting up somewhere. I've literally been everywhere, whether it's, going all the way to Australia or, cross country or down the block or wherever it is that I've had to go. But I've had to travel and make sure that I have a backup of absolutely everything so that if I were training someone, we had the equipment that we needed to be able to do what we needed to do. So my bag is pretty full, I think of things that I think a lot of people don't think about that they will love having with them. So hopefully I'll be able to add a little something to that.
I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Nanette, would you like to go next and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for having me. I'm also from Orlando. I'm a freelance reporter, and I've been reporting since 1994. So I beat Suzanne by a few years. Don't want to do the math for you. But yeah, I've been basically doing trials, depot work, hearings, meetings, you name it. I travel all over Florida mainly. And I just got my New York notary. So that's that'll be exciting. But yeah, and then now I own my own firm, Butler Reporting. So I come from just someone who has been traveling all over the place. And my poor husband has had to rescue me many a times when I don't have what's in my bag. So I come from that sort of mentality of please, give your husbands or your significant other a break at 11 o'clock at night. They don't have to drive, 4 hours to meet you to give you something that you forgot. So
Love it. Alan, I'll call on you next. I think a lot of people know who you are, but please introduce yourself.
People know me because I'm old and have been around forever. But my name is Alan Peacock. I am a court reporter in Mobile, Alabama, which is close to Pensacola, Florida, New Orleans, the Southeast. I have been reporting since 1988, so I have everyone beat, I think. I do a mixture of CART, captioning, and reporting, and it's varied over the years as to what percentage gets what. But right now, mostly deposition reporting. And I'm happy to be part of this group because I want someone to learn from my mistakes. I've shown up without something in a bag. I've shown up with strange things that I shouldn't have had. Anyway, so I'm glad to be part of this and participate in the conversation. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I think everyone knows you because you're fabulous.
That's it.
That is it. Lastly, on our panelist group tonight, we have Tamara. Tamara, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. You're on mute.
Rookie move. Okay, I'm a reporter in Austin, and I'm still in my arbitration room from today. And So my favorite thing to do is like real-time rush, rough draft depots, but I would rather be like learning about AI and AI tools for reporters, and I do workshops for that, and not speech recognition, the other AI, the AI sister. But anyway, so I've just always been into technology and just, I don't know, finding tricks of ways to do things easier and not have to work as hard and be able to do other things. But so I'm basically just the tech person. I've, been reporting since 1998. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've live in Austin. I'm into tech. I'm a real-time reporter. That's about it. There's other things about me that are super interesting, but we're going to talk about just reporting. So that's it.
Sounds good. Your bio strikes me as somebody that lives for the excitement. Like let's all the work that you do on the edge of your seat to get it done quickly and fabulous. All right. So we're going to move. Go ahead.
Rich and Bonnie.
Those they are members of our Ask Me Anything task force, and as well as Sandy and Amy and a couple other people from the task force that are on to observe tonight. So, and I just was missing Hector, but I don't think that he signed on tonight. We had planned on him as originally, but maybe I got confused. All right, first question. What are the essential things to have in your Steno bag? And we're going to get a variety of answers from a variety of our panelists. Obviously, panelists, I might go to everyone on this one because we're, the essential things. So Nanette, would you like to go first?
Thank you. So as I was alluding to before, make sure, and this I've had to learn the hard way, is make sure you have two of everything. Two of your chargers for your Steno machine, because sometimes you'll leave the charger there and then you'll come home and it's just, or you leave the charger at home and then you have one in the bag, you forget to put it in your bag, and then you have, a trial the next day. And so it's just very stressful when you forget your charger at home. So just two of everything, two chargers, like your laptop chargers. I've left laptop chargers at home, like everything conceivable that you can think of that I've left that you can possibly leave. I've actually left my Steno machine at home once. So, and now I have two machines in my bag. And I've actually had an occasion to leave my laptop at home, and I had a daily copy trial real time. So that was fun. So I don't have two laptops, but it's not a bad idea to have two laptops. I'm saying like two of everything imaginable you need in your bag. So that's just, I don't have any fancy schmancy, techie things to say, just two of everything. I can't even like reiterate how important that is. And my husband sitting right here, he can come on and tell you how many times he's saved me from my own self. My dongle for my Andrea dongle, I've forgotten that. I mean, anything. So it's a little bit of an expense to do have double of everything, but you'll thank me later.
Wonderful. Alan, how about you? What's your essential thing in your bag?
It's a tough question because it depends on the event I'm going to. If I'm talking just essentials for a basic deposition downtown in the town I live in, it's what you would expect. It's computer. Make sure you have your cable. Make sure you have your computer. I mean your writer. Make sure you have your Andrea speaker, whatever, just your basic microphones. However, that changes depending on, is it a real-time job? If I'm out of town, I'm going to carry, like Nanette, double everything, two machines, two computers. Anytime I go to New Orleans or somewhere, you have to have two of everything. But for in town, if the worst happened, I could be back home in 10 minutes, pick it up. It could happen. But for your basic essentials, just exactly what you think: machine, cable, charger. And I also keep a charger in my the back seat of the passenger's car. I keep an extra cable. I keep because I've gotten there and not had the cable, and so I'll keep it in my car. And one other thing, this isn't in your bag, but as a guy, if there are any guys that are watching this, in my arm seat in my car, I carry an extra razor, a little Bic razor, because you get there and you look in the mirror and your eyebrow hair is just long, or, something, so I carry a razor, I carry a chapstick, I carry a little thing you put on your finger, you can brush your teeth because you may, have a stain or something. So just some basics like that in the car for appearance. But basically, as far as essentials, computer, cable, machine, and double check it. Say it to yourself whenever you're packing your bag and you're leaving. Do I have my car, keys, wallet, etc.? So it's a double check, but you can still forget it. So always keep it a little something extra or double your backup in your car. It's my advice as far as essentials. And the answer would differ if I'm going to a cart job or a caption job or a conference. So it just depends, but that's my essentials.
Like that answer. We're going to talk a little bit later in the hour about specific brand names and accessories and things like that. However, if we miss anything or you want to hear about it again, I'm giving our panelists an opportunity to share their business phone number, business email in the chat box. So if somebody mentions something tonight and you want to follow up with someone and ask them an additional question, feel free to chat down their contact information. And you can do that after tonight as well.
Oh.
So, yes, Anna.
I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention. I do carry this wherever I go. It's just a MiFi device because the law firm may not have Wi-Fi. And especially if I'm doing real team or something where I'm needing somebody to connect, it's just a little MiFi. And if you are out of town or you're doing a trial, it's actually good to have 2 of these, and not just 2, but one for AT&T and one for Verizon, because certain courthouses, it's difficult. Nanette taught me this. I had a Verizon and it was barely getting a signal. She says, oh, you need 2. You need to have one of each. And it made all the difference in the world. So carry a MiFi if you want to connect to the internet. Stick in your bag. It's small, fits in anywhere. That's it. I'm sorry for taking so much time.
Oh, no worries. That's a great tip. I'm going to go to Cindy Lynch next.
Thank you. The only thing that I would add to what Alan and Nanette have already said is a power strip. It's a good idea to have a place to plug in because you can't count on the wall being, a wall outlet being close to you and or having a space for yourself. So being able to have a power strip, an extension cord if necessary, if you have to plug in from far away. And you can get those thin, they don't have to be those giant 20-foot cords or, whatever. There's a way to get them, and everybody who sells equipment, sells all sorts of different kinds. So I would just add those. And then in addition to that, one of the things that I think is really critical to keep with you is a microfiber cloth so that you can wipe screens, whether it's your writer screen, whether it's your phone screen, tablet screens. It is just incredibly important to be able to wipe those off because there's nothing that makes you look less professional than having sticky fingerprint stains all over a tablet that you're going to try and put in front of an attorney or something like that. So just wanted to throw that in.
Great. Tamara, do you have any additional essentials to add to our list?
Maybe more than you probably want to know about, but yeah, I've got some really good ones that sort of pertain to my deposition today, or my arbitration. First of all, this is something I take everywhere. It's called a curble. And I can sit anywhere. My feet always touch the ground, and while I'm sitting up straight, and I don't have to try to, I have to think about sitting properly. It puts the kind of puts pressure up against your lower back, keeps your back in alignment all day. And I would say I have this bag. It's like a travel bag, but it's got a heating pad inside. And I have a mechanical keyboard, which I can also write with Steno. So if I need to clean up a rough draft or something. And then this is what I have today. It's a really inexpensive mixer. It's really made for podcasts. But so I'm in arbitration and I've got 2 microphones that are across the room. And then I've got one of them that's a digital recorder. And I had 3 coming in here earlier today, but then the air conditioner came on. So I have videographer microphones. you know, with the clip-ons or whatever. So I would say like the most stressful thing about being at work is well, tech issues and but you know, having bad audio or dealing with bad situations with that. And I would say like the ability to, I can adapt to almost any situation, and I can have to carry a little bit of extra stuff, but it lowers my stress level because I spent many years dealing with that. Because if you can't hear, then you know it's not recording, and the next thing you know, you're flipping out. And so it's just good to have a good system like that. So but that's all. That's all.
Love it. Thank you so much. Suzanne, do you have any other essentials to add to this list? You're on mute.
So
Yeah.
everybody covered some really, really great things that I had on my list. So the only other things that are on my list are, I always carry a hard drive. After every job, I back up immediately to the hard drive, and I back up to the cloud as well. But I always carry the hard drive, notebook and pen, always a good thing. And then self-care things like Alan was saying, but from a woman's perspective, always need ibuprofen. You always need tissues, lotion, hand sanitizer, those kind of things. So that's all I would add. Well,
Great.
actually, wait, I do have one other thing. I have an electronics travel organizer that I really can't go anywhere without. It's got my phone charger, USB thumb drives, earbuds. It's got splitters for 3.5 millimeters. It's got cords. It's got my ScanDisk SD card readers. So this little teeny bag has all of these cords that help with all sorts of things. So anyway, can't go anywhere without that. That's all I had.
Great. Angie, I know we've covered so many things. Do you have anything left for this list?
Yeah, just a couple, maybe not as essential, but I did want to just piggyback off of the duplication of all the cords. And I just wanted to say, like, all the cords that I need for my office stay in my office. And then I have like a whole nother set in my bag so that when I'm leaving for a job, the only thing I need to remember to bring is my laptop, my writer, and my tripod. And I'm always scared about the tripod because I went to school one time and I didn't have it. And I don't know if everybody knows this because I was like, oh, wait, this exists, but you can get a universal laptop charger. And they're only like $18. And I have two of them on top of my charger for my laptop. They come with all these little heads so that there's going to be one that matches your laptop charger. And so, yeah, then I just feel so much better knowing, oh, I have a depot today, just need my laptop, writer, and tripod. And I don't have to remember anything else unless there's like a hybrid setup, then I have another bag that includes stuff like that. But just for like a regular depot, I feel good about that. And then, not as techy, but a couple things I would add are snacks. You're gonna get hungry, and you can't write if you're hungry. So I am like a child, and I have these little applesauce pouches because you don't have to refrigerate them, like they're not gonna perish in your bag. I also have these beef sticks, nuts in my bag. Other things that you can consume are cough drops. I have 3 different flavors because people are always coughing in a deposition, so I always offer them up a cough drop. And then maybe just a couple more things I'll add are I have a pencil box, and it has staplers and Sharpies and pens and whatever because people always forget pens. But my favorite thing in my box are my wax pencils. They work on writing on photographs, like glossy types of things that pens won't show up on. So I really like my wax pencils. And then one last thing I guess I'll add is I really love this table. It fits very nicely in my rolly bag. And you take off this part and then it has the legs. And then the legs expand, this
Nice.
long. And you just like screw them into the sides. And, sometimes you're not going to have enough table space if you're in a small room or, things like that. So I love that this table fits so well in my bag. And yeah, that's not as essential, but everyone took so many good things that I thought I'd share some secondary essentials.
I love that. No one said a Band-Aid. I have had more than one time where I'm bleeding on my steno keys. It was like someone somewhere has got to have a Band-Aid. So now I go nowhere without a Band-Aid. But that snacks one got me because the New York State court system where I work is not the most technologically advanced or new building on the market. So a mouse went in my steno bag and ate my snacks. And I had a whole, it was awful. It was, okay. Anyways, I do carry snacks, but I gotta be careful. So we're gonna talk about what on the list is nice to have. Like, I think we could live without the table, but man, I've been stuck in a corner before where I could really have used that table. Does anyone else have a what is nice on the list? Okay, Cindy, go. I'll stop talking.
I'm so glad that Angie has that table. I actually had a link to it. If anybody wants a link to it, it's $50 on Amazon. It's really not an expensive thing. And I have that as I actually have an old one that Stenograph used to sell, and it has been, something that I have kept forever because I can use it at workshops when I'm if I need, my little table can tilt so that I can also have it almost, it looks like a music stand almost, so that I can, set a workbook up on there and I can teach from one place and have a lectern over there. And, it just makes life easier. So I love the portable table. It's a great thing to have if you can. Unfortunately, Stenograph no longer sells that portable table, which used to go on an extra tripod. And the other thing that I would say is a really nice thing to have if you can. We were talking about tripods before. It's obviously having an extra, if you want to have a duplicate of everything. What you might want to have also is a tall tripod instead of just a regular tripod. Tall or standing tripods for anybody who has back issues, like Tamara was saying. She's got a special seat that she uses, but there are some of us, if you use a standing desk and you're accustomed to standing for long periods as opposed to sitting for long periods, it's nice to know that you can, in fact, get a tall tripod, something that you can use. It depends on how short you are as to whether or not it's going to be good if you're seated, because it is, even in its very shortest, it's a little bit higher than, say, for somebody like me. I'm 5'4", so it's a little bit tall for me. I have to, reach my hands a little higher than I'm, comfortable with if I don't, have a cushion to put underneath me. But for standing, it is absolutely brilliant. It is really nice to be able to stand and write as well as sit and write. And if you can, you can adjust it on the fly, which is really nice. So that's one of the things that I really like to have. And then one last thing for if you have to travel, the big thing that I like to have, and I have mine here, this is basically, we used to call them jetpacks, and I guess they just call them mini cases now. And I have that packed inside of my bag so that if I have to get on a plane with my bag and they have an issue with it, there's not enough room for my bag in the overhead. Because even being a million miler, I usually get on the plane first, but not always. It just depends on, how close my connections are. And if they won't let my bag on the plane, I'm not letting them take my writer. I'll let them take a whole bunch of stuff, but they can't have my writer. So I have that in the mini bag so I can pull it out, throw it over my shoulder, and that becomes my carry-on. So I think it's a really nice thing to have if you travel a lot. That was it.
Great. Suzanne.
I have a couple of things that I love. I have some therapy putty that I love to just work my hands with before a deposit, or not deposition because I don't do those, but before court. It just really loosens up my hands a little bit so I write better. I also, it's nice to have on the list like a lint roller tied to go. I have a portable monitor that I hook up to my laptop so I can put all of my notes, all of my briefs on that portable monitor, and then have my real time on one. It's really catches my eye. I can look things over if I need to. And then I have a tablet stand for that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I love it. Alan, what's on your nice to have list?
Nice to have. I carry, I'm going to show just a little zip bag. And in this, I keep an extra microphone my exhibit stickers, plaintiffs, defendants, and regular exhibit. I keep backup SD cards. I keep chapstick. I keep hand lotion. I keep, one thing I should have mentioned in the previous one is an adapter, an AC adapter, because you have 2-prong and 3-prong, the grounding one. And sometimes you get to law firm and they just have the 2, and so you'll need an adapter. So that's something else I keep. That's it. I just like, and I fill it up. My business cards and everything go in here. It's like my lanyard, my extra, my toss in the bag, and you're good. You've got everything you need there.
Tamara, do you have anything else for the nice to have list?
No, because pretty much I can't think of anything. Got rid of everything I have. Like I can't live without. I tried to pare down after COVID. I was like, screw it. I'm not going to carry around. The only thing I took out of my bag was like I used to carry a exhibit sticker maker or label maker, whatever, for my stickers. But you know, like I carry a scanner, a huge scanner, and yeah. So I don't know. I wish I could think of something nice to have, but I pretty much bring it all. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, I can't think of
So
anything.
I think I'm going to head to question number 3, which talks about what is on the most technologically advanced list of items to pack. So like I know we have a couple of members of the technology committee on our panel tonight. What do you think is the most you know, newer kind of gadget that you're carrying? Any panel, like Angie, do you have something technologically advanced on in your bag?
This isn't really my question. The most technologically advanced item I have in my bag is my writer.
Okay.
I have my microphone. My recorder. But yeah, I don't really carry a whole bunch of stuff that yeah.
Cindy, do you have an answer?
Actually, no. I love Tamara's mixer. Anybody who has the ability to do multiple microphones, that's absolutely fantastic. But no, for the most part, when I'm doing stuff, I haven't had to do that yet, so I don't have my own mixer to take with me. I do always bring a USB hub, not exactly technologically advanced, but it makes life better. I will usually carry multiple USB-C to C or USB-C to A cables of different lengths, so that just depending on what space I'm in, I've got the right length for what I'm doing. But, you know, nothing is really, yeah, no, don't need anything that's super advanced for what we're doing.
Okay. Alan.
Tamara mentioned it, but I was going to show mine. If it's a real-time job or something I'm at all day or court, I'll also carry a scanner. This is it. This is the Scan Snap. Look how small it is. Look how thin it is. And it only does a page at a time. But if you need something like a notice, look at you. Okay, look, you guys.
Cindy has hers.
Okay, all right. Then you have to have one of these. Okay. It's light, it's portable, it plugs into USB port, and it's powered by USB. And you can scan in something and send it right to your scopist or whoever is helping you out. So it doesn't take up any space, but that's my favorite technological extra.
Like it. Will you also put the name of that one in the chat for us?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Angie had her hand up.
Oh, I just saw a comment. Someone said privacy screen for monitor laptop screen, and I just wanted to share a story. My very first deposition, the taking attorney was sitting next to me, and he kept leaning over my shoulder to look at my screen to see, you know, he forgot what they had said. And then at one point he leaned over and he goes, "Yeah, can you just scroll up a couple questions?" And I was like, it's my first deposition, dude. Like, don't look at my screen. And so that day I went home and I ordered a privacy screen. I guess I can take it off of here. And it looks like this. And so if you're sitting to my right or left, you cannot see what my screen looks black to you. So I just wanted to touch on that since there was a comment on it.
Wow, I didn't even know about that. Wow. That's fantastic. And a great way to sell a real-time output. So great. Okay. Anyone else? Suzanne, who has her hand up. I'm sorry.
So I actually chair the technology committee.
Oh, there you go.
I saw this this question and I really thought, here I'm going to toot our horn a little bit, but I think that us reporters are the most technologically advanced items in our pack, because nothing would happen without us. So anyway, that's my two.
I love it. Tamara.
So I have so I created a document with like links to all the things I have in my bag. But what I wanted to say is this isn't like super techie kind of thing, but it's something that a lot of people don't know about. But there is a thing called a here it is. It's a ground loop noise isolator. And so you'll find that a lot of times when you're plugging in a digital recorder to your computer, you've got electricity going into electricity. And so you need to break the electricity going in. And so you'll hear static is what you'll hear. And you can't figure out where it's coming from. Today I actually had to double up on this. I couldn't get it to go away. Then I accidentally doubled up and it went away. So, but yeah, it's a ground. I'll put my email in the chat, and I have everything linked up. But it's a ground loop noise isolator. It's just a little thing that can plug it into your sound card or whatever. So
That's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody being so willing to share these great tips. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff in our bag at this point. Panelists, what are you doing to keep your bag organized? And Angie, you want to go first on organization?
Yes, but can I just backtrack really quick on the technology part? When I was
Absolutely.
an exit student, I was really nervous. Like, do I have what I need to, do this job? And I think that the fact that we didn't have, like, there are a lot of things that I'm sure I'll be adding once I up my skills, but just to start, you don't really need a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's not as scary as you think. So I think it's maybe make people feel better to know, oh, you don't need like a bajillion things, technology wise, because that's like scary to me. I'm not a tech person. So anyways, sorry. Your question was, how do I keep my bag organized? I have what's this bag? The Stenograph. What's the one with the wheels?
The Duet.
Yes, the Duet. Thank you. So I have a Duet, and it has like compartments and stuff, and it just helps me to just keep my bag consistent. Like, don't throw things in there that don't belong. I feel like I'm a pretty disorganized person. I would be ashamed to show you my desk right now, but at least my bag is organized and I don't dirty it up. Like, I don't put things that don't belong. Everything is exactly where I have it every day. So that's just what I do for my bag.
I love it. Suzanne, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I am very organized in my bag. It keeps me feeling like I have everything that I need. So I have the travel organizer that I mentioned before, and I have the Duet Stenograph bag as well. But I have the travel container that Cindy Lynch was talking about for my writer. So I put everything in as it goes, and I keep everything in the same place it always is all the time. So I have bags for every cord. I have everything in a side bag, or the pockets. I think that for me the key is keeping things in the same place as they always go. So that's how I feel organized.
I like it. Tamara, how do you keep all your things organized? You're still on mute.
Actually, I was trying to, I have something I can show you real quick.
Okay.
I just made this, I just got this bag and I made this silly post about it, and I'm just trying to pull everything up close together. Okay, let's see. You have the screen sharing enabled?
Jill said that we would.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm going to share a screen right now. Let me get my screen bigger so I can see the share screen. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to share. All right. Okay. Can everyone see this right here? It's a bag.
Yes, I
So
see
my
it.
Oh, it's forgot it's a video. My mom got me this bag and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, what the heck, you know? And I was like, how am I going to carry that for work? I mean, but anyway, so I've been lugging around, you know, I'm sure you can gather by now, I lug around a lot of crap. And so, and my mom, she tells me, she's like, you gotta stop carrying around all that stuff, you know? So she gets me this bag and it can actually hold 66 pounds and make them all different colors. But in the front, there's this handle and pretty much I could walk and like pull it with my pinky. I mean, all the stuff I have in my bag. So anyway, that's the bag. And then, so I had everything, like all my cables in all these different bags before. And I just did this last week. And so, so I was just going to post something on my Facebook group. So I already had this made and I was doing the bag thing. So I'm really that much of a dork about yes, I am, about my
I
equipment.
love it.
So then, let's see. So then I got this bag and it doesn't look much from the outside, but all the stuff that was in here is in here now. And then the inside of the bag is this. So it's a DJ gig bag. And so all the different, it's got, you know, all the different sectioned off pieces. And it's so amazing to be able to just pull stuff out of there. But anyway, I got also, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'll just show one more thing that I got that I really love. I don't think I have a picture of it. I'm gonna stop share. Oh, and by the way, like everything I have fits in that bag. It's crazy. Like I got my computer I take 2 computers to my job, but I got everything in there. I'm trying to get this stupid share screen to go away. Okay, but anyway, so I got everything in there. It was a little heavy, so I just keep my computers out of there. But I was just gonna show that these, because you can have like a lot of bags if you want to keep things separate, but if you buy like regular bags, it can get bulky. And so I just got these tool bags from Amazon. And so they're thin. And so you can separate stuff and you can also see in the top of it. And so anyway, I haven't been this excited about equipment in a while, except for my new machine. I'm excited about that, my new Steno machine. But and then I just wanted to also add the nice to have. I have these glasses that are they're augmented reality glasses, and they look like I'm wearing, like they're Wayfarers. And anyway, I know we're talking about the bag stuff, and I meant to say like the nice to have is like you put these on and you've got like you can have like 3 300-inch monitors in front of you, but you can't wear them when other people are around. So you know, lunch break, put them on, and you don't have to stare at your screen. But anyway, those are like my favorite tech thing right now. So I meant to say that earlier on.
Wow. I love that. Cindy shared a video or a link to the video in the chat for how to pack a duet bag. Do you have any other organization tips? And thank you for sharing the video.
Oh, sure. No, I would just echo what Suzanne said. I have everything is in its place because that way I instantly know if anything is missing. It helps me, you know, pack up very quickly whenever I'm done at the end of, you know, whatever it is I'm doing. So I know that I have absolutely everything because everything has its own place. So there's a bag for cables, there's a bag for, you know, loose things, you know, a USB hub for, there's a place for my power strip, there's a place for my extension cord, there is a place for each thing that I put in, and I know exactly where it is. That way I don't lose anything and don't leave anything behind.
I like it. I like it a lot. Alan, any other tips? You already showed a couple of the zip bags.
Just my tip would be what I think they've already expressed, but I do the same thing as far as being consistent on where you put things. I have a series of bags because I'm always doing a little job, a big job, a cart job, and out of town. So I have a whole row of bags, different sizes. So I'm kind of trading back and forth with a little bit like, oh, I'll need this today, so I'm taking it out of this bag. So you just have to be hyper aware and double and triple check before you walk out the door that did I pull that and then did I put it back? And so knowing where things go, like my power strip always goes on the side. So if I look at my bag and I don't see it, I know it's missing. So just being consistent with where you put things and knowing where they go it's my organization. Just this goes here, and just doing it every day. You see what's missing or not there, and just trying to just back that up. So
Great. So we have talked about a couple different kind of bags that people use, one being the Stenograph Duet bag. And then Tamara, you showed us that great video of your bag. Can you put the name of that in the chat for us? I didn't write it down yet, but the one that you could pull with your pinky.
Yep, will do.
Thank you. Melody Stevenson has the most fantastic comments, and I'm starting to regret not picking her for a panelist. So thank you, Melody, so much for sharing. We're going to move on to the next question. What do you do for backups? And I realize some of this we might have already talked about. Anybody have an answer for what they do for backups?
I've said it already. I have a double of everything. I only carry that when I'm going out of town. I don't, if I'm going to a downtown deposition, I don't carry double everything because I'm pretty much okay. Not always, but pretty much. If I'm out of town, I have a backup of everything. The bag, the computer, the cables, the writer, everything. So that's my tip.
Anyone else have an answer on what they do for backups? Angie.
I mean, in the sense of like backing up your files, I always make sure I move my recording file to Dropbox, and I'll use, what's it called when you use your phone for Wi-Fi?
Hotspot.
Yes, yeah. If I don't have the Wi-Fi to the place, which usually I do, but if I don't, I'll use my phone. But I just make sure that at least my audio is backed up, and then my Eclipse file, I back it up to a flash drive that is in my purse, so that, and it's like gotta be separate from your bag, just in case your bag gets stolen, then it's backed up and it's somewhere else. So that's what I do for file backup.
Great. Cindy. You're on mute.
She just said exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
The only thing I would add to that is I have a portable screen that I take with me, not only to have an extra screen to have more area to put everything, but if something happens to my screen, I have an external screen, so I have at least one at all times. So even if my laptop screen were to go dark or I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but the computer's working fine. It's just the display is dead. It's happened. It just having an extra display is just an awfully, nice thing to have if you can. And they're cheap. They're really not expensive.
Okay. We talked many times tonight about having two of everything. And one of the questions on the list had been, what is your redundancy plan in case of equipment failures? Which I think having two of everything kind of answers that. Panelists, am I missing anything on redundancy besides having two of everything? Suzanne.
One of the really great things about being a federal official or any really official is you have a lot of reporters in the same building. So I keep a backup machine, and I know several other people in my office keep a backup machine. We have 5 reporters in our courthouse. And right now, one of my colleagues is using my backup because her machine went down and she's waiting for hers to come back. So in an official capacity, there are a lot of resources that we can draw on that maybe in the freelance world you don't have, just as a thought for someone who might be considering freelance versus official.
Great. So one of the things I think that never got mentioned tonight, and I do love the tip about having everything in its place because then you know where you're to look for it. But nobody mentioned a mantra, and my mantra isn't necessarily Steno specific, but every day when I leave the house, I say to myself, shoes, makeup, purse, keys, lunch, dinner. I have a hard time saying it slow because it's like second nature. So, using a mantra in relationship to your Steno bag to run through those essentials, or your backups might help you as well. Another tip for one of the things you need to remember. Okay, so submitted from our audience tonight, they wanted to know what are our favorite brands. Panelists, does anybody have some go-to brands that they look for their equipment? Alan.
This isn't something that's in the bag, but something I use every day when I'm scoping. A headset. And my favorite is Bose Quiet Comfort, because it's super light. It's not, if you're wearing this for 6 or 8 hours, it doesn't get heavy and hurt your ears. It's got foam. You can get it with noise reduction. You can catch them on sale on like, what's it, Black Friday? Every once in a while. So like $250, something like that. It's expensive for a headset, but well worth it because it lasts years. So this is something I use every day, not in my bag, but well worth it.
Hey, Alan, I'm curious, how does that work with your glasses? Do you ever have the tip of the earphones pressing in on the sides of your glasses?
I haven't run into that. I will tonight, I'm sure. So that's how it works.
I use the Bose headphones, and they have a pretty nice cushion on the ear that doesn't hurt my lenses, my frames, I think is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I've started using my AirPods just because of that. I finally got my Apple AirPods connected to my PC so that I can just have the the earbuds in, as opposed to having to have anything, because they do press on my glasses, the headset that I've got. Maybe I should invest in those.
That's a great tip. Panelists, any more go-to brands? Suzanne.
So I'm not Bose. I am the Sennheiser on my headsets. And I love these. But Bose is always a great one too. For my hubs for all my USBs going in, I really like the Sabrent. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Sabrent. And I've always loved Stenograph's riders.
Very, very, very popular, especially when they come in pink. Anyone else? All right, we have about 7 minutes left for this evening. Anybody on our panel have somebody already mentioned it tonight. We wanted to talk to you because bad things happened to us and we wanted to keep it from happening to you. Anyone have a story to share about they wish they'd packed their bag better and now they know? Oh, somebody wants to share.
If it's happened to me. I've gone out of town and didn't have my computer, or the computer died, or didn't have my machine, the machine died. Had to buy a new computer, didn't have the software. Anything that can happen has happened to me. And that's made me hyper aware, but not, immune to it. I mean, stuff will still come up. So it's just, I don't know. I feel unlucky over time. So many things have happened, but it's just because I didn't think. That's why I'm saying to you, carry 2 of everything, because I didn't for many years. So once it happens to you, hopefully it won't again. So, but yeah, anything that can happen has happened to me, pretty much.
All right, so I'm going to go. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Cords are my nemesis. They'll go out, they won't work, and then you don't have one in your bag. So I am with everybody else who has said, keep extra cords that you use for the USB to USB-C to your machine, keep extra for your computer. Always have an extra cords. Those cords, they don't last forever and they go bad in the worst possible time. So that's my advice.
One thing I'd like to add to that, one of the reasons that cords will go bad is when folks coil them, or not coil, but you crimp them. You like fold them in half and then fold them in half again and fold it. Don't do that. What you want to do is coil in a circle. You don't want to be bending them. And also, when you take a cord out of your computer, don't yank it and don't pull from the cord. Actually grab the holder and pull from there. That makes such a huge difference in the life, of the equipment. And it's not just the cords, it's also the ports. If you are jamming things in, especially for the USB-As, if you have something which is a standard USB-A, which way does it go in, right? And so you always try to put it in the wrong way, and then you flip it over, and then you put it in the other way, and then it fits, or, and it's always the wrong way the first time. So get to know which is the right way. And take a look and see what the difference is. You'll see a difference in each side, and you can make sure that you put it in the right way the first time. But again, don't crimp those cords. Make sure that you coil them. And when you are using a cable tie of some kind, just make sure that you're not crimping the cable, because that will help make them last longer.
Great, I love it. I'm going to go next to Rich Jermosin. He had his hand up, and Rich is on our Ask Me Anything task force.
Yeah, it was like my third job or something. I was using the agency's writer. I didn't think to pack the charger, and I must have wrote 300 pages. It was around 3:30 or something. The machine just sort of turned off. I was using paper, obviously, because it was 1992. And I get home, and it was at one of those, I forget the writer, what it was called, but you had to hook the writer up to the XCC5 or what have you. And something told me, you know what, Rich, you better start rewriting this job just in case. It wasn't even an automatic order. It was an Office of Administrative Law. They may order it 6 months from now. I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't finish writing it, but got up, 8 o'clock and finished writing it. And they ordered that thing expedited. It was like my third job. So I tell everybody, don't leave home without that charger for your, and Angie mentioned it before, she has two of everything. I have a charger in my case and I have a charger sitting here, so I don't have to remember to pack it up. But it was just amazing to me. It was 300 pages. And then I had the forethought. I was 20 years old. I said, rewrite this thing just in case, I don't know, whatever happens, and whatever happened. So that was my horror story.
It's the best of us every time. I'm gonna wrap up for tonight by thanking our panelists for donating your time this evening, for sharing your great tips. Angie, you unmuted. Did you want to share before I wrap up?
I was just wanting to point out Tamara's hand's been raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Tamara, go.
That's okay. I'm driving, so it's like I'm trying to hold my hand up in a unnatural way. No, I just wanted to say that no matter, regardless of what you have in your bag and all that kind of stuff, I know the best thing you can do is just get some familiarity with your tech, like how to use it, how to connect it, because it can be so, you can have all this great stuff in your bag, but if you can't troubleshoot, it's, I would say that's one of the most important things you can do is get familiar with it. And if you email me, I'll give you a link to a tool I have inside of ChatGPT where you can just say how do I connect to the videographer? And then it'll actually, I've put all of my knowledge into it. So you can just ask. And it's really if you're ever stressed out, you're trying to connect something, just, go on ChatGPT or go on the link that I send. But anyway, I think that knowing how to use all this stuff and how to troubleshoot it is the most important thing. But that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we all need a little bit of Tamara's passion for doing all of this stuff and her commitment for hopping on at the end of a job and then while driving. Thank you for such commitment to our event tonight. Thank you, all the participants that are in our audience, for soaking up a little knowledge, for giving us an hour of your time to listen to me talk too much, that's for sure. Don't forget the last Tuesday of March and February and April, there will be more Ask Me Anything events that you can register for. Please tell your friends, and I just wish you all a great rest of your evening and safe travels if you have to leave the house. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Thank you all.